Hello and welcome back to Woodhill Park. We decided to visit Colne Valley Railway as it's been some years since I've been to this venue, and I was interested to see how they were doing. I mean, it was years ago I went there, and my kids were toddlers then, and they're now grown up and they're in their late 20s. So I didn't know what I was going to find, and when we arrived there didn't seem to be a lot of people around. I mean, it was a bank holiday, but the place was quite empty, which was a bit sad. They certainly need some more visitors. I didn't know they had a set of TPO carriages, and so I came across these on the platform. Sadly, they're not in pristine condition. They do need a lot of work, and that's what these preservation societies do. We volunteers restore stuff, and they certainly need a bit of TLC on the outside. But inside, I was pleasantly surprised. On the inside, because there were so few people around, I was lucky enough to get virtually an exclusive walk through their mail coaches, which had exhibits in one coach where they would have stored the mail ready for sorting, trolleys and sack barrows, and then I entered into which would have been the main hub of all the activity, the sorting coach, and it was as if people had just walked away and left it tidily, but everything was as, you know, it would have been mailbags hanging up, and I bet at night time there's a few ghosts in here of the people that have worked and spent most of their lives sorting letters in this lovely sort of environment of an age gone by, with lovely woodwork and, you know, the smell of an era that's past now. It was great to walk through these carriages, and I do recommend you go along and have a visit, as in my opinion this is one of their best attractions. At the moment they're just running a pull push service which bypasses the station and swaps ends with a bubble car, DMU, and this is a reasonable trip up and down the line. We travelled in a lovely Gresley sort of ex-LNER teak coach that they've done up in red and white, and it was a third brake, but they've converted it into some sort of buffet sort of lounge car. At one end it's got an observation end where the guard sits and controls the push-pull system when the steam engine can't see where it's going. The Gresley coach has, I think, not been long sort of updated or worked on, and it has a rather strange carpet on the floor which reminded me of my parents' carpet in the 1970s, a very floral pattern, but, you know, nicely laid out all the same, and a nice wooden bar which obviously they use for certain events. They do have quite a lot of rolling stock on site, including HST units and a DVT sitting here, and various stuff like EMUs all waiting for restoration, and certain small steam engines. There was even a 9F on the sidings that I saw from the coach as we rode up and down, and I think they're restoring a 5F in one of the engine sheds they've got at one end. There's a different society that's working on the steam engines. I can't remember what it's called. They've got quite a lot of coaching stock, including Mark IIIs, that they've obviously acquired. I think they've got a buffet car that they use on special days, and most of the time they sit in the siding. I think they'll use with the HSTs on special event days, but they are lacking in space for storage due to a dispute with a local landowner who now wants them to move off his land, and so they're having to reduce their stock because they haven't got the siding capacity, which is a shame.
The green one, the front green one, effective. It's out of ticket, so the boarders get a 10-year ticket. That ran out. The other one's a diesel, which was owned by one of our volunteers, works. In fact, their career scale, and not the people, have been up recording all the sounds for it for their modelling. There's the blokes. They're using that one. So that's used. That one belongs to somebody on the railway and needs a bit of work on it.
Yeah.
That's a dummy power car. That one's a working power car. These don't work because they're out of action. I have been ever since I did it. They need, you can see, there's a lot of work needed doing in it.
Yeah.
The red one is just used as storage. And then you've got the HST or 125, whichever way you look at it. That is used, that's used on Saturday. Going backwards and forwards. It's all done round here.
At least some of them have been used.
Majority
Yeah.
are being used. The green little one up there is the shunter. We use. And then you've got, that one there is known as Blue Star. It's a 9F.
Yeah.
Belongs to a group that are just over the back there who have got a black 5 that they're restoring.
Yeah.
And in the shed 45163 is a black 5 that's being restored.
And when they're restored, will they be going on this line? Will they take them?
Won't go over the bridge,
Ah.
too heavy.
Mm.
I know that because I work.
They have got various rolling stock up for sale, obviously to improve their finances.
Go that way, it's the exit down there.
The bubble car is in very good condition for its age, and was a really interesting thing to ride on and look over. As the signal box was open to visitors, we took the opportunity to have a look around the signal box.
That's what gives permission for us to send trains to each other, and our signals are locked in place electromagnetically if we haven't got permission to send the train. So he was working earlier, but he's just closed his box up, so I won't be needing to use that for the last train. So there'll be a 4 o'clock train which will go off and up there and pick him up as well.
It was great listening to what he had to say about the workings of the signal box.
And the other thing we've got a more modern thing here for dealing with the gate. And the other thing we have is this token machine. In order to go on that part of the single track line, originally they had a wooden staff, and whoever had the wooden staff could go on there, but nobody else could. So you couldn't have 2 trains running into each other because only one was allowed to go because only one had the staff. But if you have 2 trains, they both can't have the staff, so that can cause delays and problems. And sometimes they literally have people on bicycles taking the wooden staff back to the This machine here is a bit cleverer. So these tokens, in here there's a little display that says free. When I take a token out here, both my machine and the other machine at the other end will say locked until we've got a token back, but we can put it back in either end. So if 2 trains go, I can take one out with the first train, the driver takes it out and gives it to the signal and puts it in, and I can take a second one out of here because there's only one out at a time, and it electrically knows when there's one in, when there's one out and when there's not one out. Yeah. So that's like 150 years of evolution of railway technology in just a few moments. And then I can put the lock back in. Diagram to see which signal it is. And he's here on this green line, so it'll be number 18 which will let him out. Normally I'd have to get permission, so that's the one that's opposite us here. Normally I'd need to get permission from the other signal box to send it down, but he's closed the signal box, so only this part of the railway signal. Down there, I think all the signals are clear, so the drivers can go backwards and forwards as they want, which we obviously can't do if there's 2 trains. That tells him that he's only allowed to come in slowly and be aware that there's another train there. So this will be used if like an engine is coupling up to a train, or in this case we're bringing 2 trains together. So obviously there's no engine there, so that couldn't move, and that one's all shut down, so that was safe to do that.
So that's the full weight of the signal that
Yeah.
putting that across.
But that's only that short run to that signal there.
Yeah.
The further away one sounds like, yeah. You can go and when you go outside you'll be able to have a look. So what I do is I put these on here just to show that these are onto a line with stop on it. So the next signal won't start moving these without looking at what's going on properly. And I'm also going to turn off the box, turn off this box here. Right. And then double check that that's showing free, and that's the close the signal box. Press source. Note. If both platforms by all points now. Is that reverse and collars fitted? Yes, they are. Place the token, check it.
I was just wondering, I didn't get a chance to look, but is there any people still here, or do you want me to hold off blocking out?
There's 4 of us in
Have
there.
you been everywhere you want to go?
Pretty
much, yeah.
Yeah. So when we missed the model railway, I think Dad's missed it. But
Do you want to go and have a look at the model railway?
Is there a model?
Yeah, it's just down here. There's a building down here.
I thought it was a rider one. I didn't
Oh, there
know.
is a miniature one as well. There's a miniature rider one, but there's a model one here, which is
What,
OO
the sleeper car?
gauge.
Yeah.
Just down here. There's
Oh, right.
an OO gauge railway.
Okay.
Did you want to go and see that?
Might as well, being that I am a railway enthusiast.
We have 3 visitors who would like to see the model railway if possible. I'm just sending them down now.
Afternoon.
There's probably about 4.
They also had a model railway on their site with a couple of old chaps running it, and they were very sort of helpful and interesting characters to talk to. The station has got lovely quaint features, and reeks of a bygone era, really. And the various buildings are full of memorabilia, which is tastefully done, including sort of paintings and even an old radio playing. There's plenty to see. All in all the people that we met and spoke to were very pleasant and very knowledgeable and couldn't do enough for you. It's an excellent place to visit.